like the video.
The disrespect I feel having been left off the Drake op list is immeasurable. I dropped a 4-hour compilation episode detailing the entire beef from beginning to end, documented my conversion for the world to see. Completely demonetized. Do you have any idea how hard you have to be hating on somebody to leave thousands of dollars on the table because you want to savor every second of another man's demise with your audience? And I didn't make it.
Correct!
Wild.
Derapy.
I don't know what it is about 2024, but something about this year has people very excited to jump into the courtroom to file lawsuits. So I just want to be clear about everything said today. It's for entertainment purposes. It's speculative. I'm just saying things that I see. I am not a reporter. I'm not a journalist, despite having a background in journalism. I mean, literally, I have a Bachelor of Science in it. But I am not trying to get sued. And we know how Drake is. He might hear something that bothers him and decide,
I'm gonna sue! I'm gonna sue!
Now, the problem isn't the op list in and of itself, because I think it's pretty obvious to anybody that's paying any type of attention online. Drake probably didn't write up all these names like in the Mean Girls burn book or something. I think that this is a fan-made list, but the funniest part of it is the fact that, one, the way it was introduced is crazy. 50 Cent is doing like a radio interview and just decides to just pull it out and just be like, see this? Look at this. This is what Drake's up against. That's hilarious. The fact that Drake even has enough people that are opposing him for this list to be created is the joke. That's what's funny, because I have like no ops. Maybe just Drake stans, Andrew Scholes fans, one ex of mine, no one that really matters. Now, while I do think it's important to note that Drake didn't necessarily make this list, I am currently looking at a tweet from DJ Academics from November 2nd, 2024 that is still up at the time of recording this, where he says Drake wrote down a long list of name of niggas who switched up once they thought he was done. So, I mean, he does have an op list. He has made one. This just might not be it. But I just want to go through a couple of names on here, talk about some some things that they may or may not have done, compare them to what I've done to make my case. So the list is in alphabetical order, which is already funny. We have Absol on here, which makes sense because Drake has no soul. So, you know, he hates those who have one and, you know, proudly proclaim that they do. We have Adidas on here. Bro has beef with a sportswear company. I don't even care enough to look into that. Anthony Fantano is arguably the best entry here. They have like real confirmed beef, but it's still pretty one-sided because Drake DM'd the needle drop, Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest music nerd, out of nowhere, directly, and called his existence a light one. He said the one is because you're alive. That's real hate. I'm not gonna lie. That is a really funny thing to say, but when you add context, it's like Drake is arguably the biggest pop star in the world. The fact that he like took time out of his precious life, he could be doing anything with his time and his resources, you know, mainly taking care of his child. Bro, if I ever find myself in a dispute with somebody that has a child when I don't, like, that's an automatic dub. Are you really gonna sit here and argue with me right now when you have a kid? Like, shouldn't you be reading to them? Shouldn't you be taking care of them? Where are they at right now? What are we doing right now? But yeah, Drake hates the melon. And it's solely over some music reviews, which is crazy that Drake is that bothered over a critic. Because if Fantano said Drake's music was good, which he has, by the way, in the past, Drake would be silent, as he has been. So it's kind of pathetic to be like, well, now that he's saying that he doesn't like me, now I'm going to speak up about it. I'm going to call his existence. Oh, he says my music's a one? Your existence is a one, dude. It's like the equivalent of a Yo Mama joke. They're funny sometimes. I can't help but bring up the fact that Bobby Altoff is on here, who 90% of you do not know who that is. Like, Drake was on her podcast, one of the first episodes of her podcast, which is already annoying to think about, by the way. But they did one podcast together. Things got awkward one way or the other. I'm just going to put that on Drake, not this random girl. And then she made one video where she was at a Drake show and pretended to be bored. and Drake fans are like, yeah, we're not letting that shit slide. I would like to argue that I have done more damage to Drake's image than Bobby Aldoff. Like, there aren't even really any explicit details as to why they have beef, okay? But take a look at the Derapy YouTube channel. We probably got 1 million views worth of people hating on Drake. That's all I'm trying to say. She should not be in the top 50. We also have Cheezer. I don't even know who that is. Apparently he's a streamer. He probably doesn't know who I am either, so it's fine. No harm, no foul, but like, come on, dog. Like, I feel like I put in the work. Then we have Complex Music. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Then we have Dave Free, and honestly, I feel like Drake brought that upon himself. Dave Free. Shut the fuck up! The DeMar DeRozan beef is really funny because Drake was under the impression that because DeMar DeRozan just so happens to play for a basketball team that is in the same country that Drake grew up in, he's gonna side with Drake over the city he came out of and also where the better rapper is. Donald Glover earned his spot on this list, also known as Childish Gambino, also known as me. I already did 20 minutes in a previous episode about how Donald Glover literally already dropped a Drake diss, and This Is America was originally supposed to be a Drake diss. So yeah, he definitely earned his spot there. I would never take that away from him, even though I kind of already claim it because it's really just me. I'm not saying that I am Donald Glover or I'm Childish Gambino. I'm just saying that no one's ever seen any of us in the same room at the same time. JPEG Mafia's album is just littered with Drake disses, so that's solid. Joe Budden is arguably the biggest Drake hater on the list. I mean, he's like top 5 for sure. There are like a couple of select people that keep asking me to cover the Joe Budden and Drake beef. I simply do not care about Joe Budden's existence to spend hours dedicating my time to something like that. But he's earned his spot. I would never take that away from him. Actually, I want to provide a little bit of context here, just a little bit, because once upon a time, Drake wrote a very strongly worded letter. And by letter, I mean Instagram post because, you know, it's Drake. And I want to read it to you because in case you haven't heard it, bro, it is... This man hates Joe Budden. You have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you are doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter gave their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke living check to check. The raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty MC jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you were the GOAT. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. Damn. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to, it's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need it, put in simpler terms, I own a 767. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. How is this Instagram comment or post or whatever? How does this have more hate and energy than his entire Heart Part 6 endeavor? Like, what is that? Like, what did Joe Budden do to strike a chord? Now, there's a whole bunch that went on between Kanye West and Drake. I don't even have time to get into all that, but I think it can be summed up by just scoop-dee-dee-whoop. Whoop-dee-scoop-dee. It was one of the worst. Kid Cudi, Kurt Alexander, LeBron James. Okay, LeBron James really was just dancing to Not Like Us and mouthing the words to Like That. And can I keep it a buck with you? Like, that should be enough. You know, if somebody were to make a song about me, the Derapy guy, and in the song they're calling me a diddler, if you're dancing to that, we're not cool. I don't care how catchy the song is. It could be as catchy as Not Like Us, but if my best friend is Millie rocking to that, like, I don't think we're actually friends, dude. Somebody please update me on what Lil Yachty did to Drake. I thought they were the coolest. Metro Boomin, boy, did he drop some drums on Drake's head. That totally tracks for me. Now, Meg the Stallion, many people say that a lot of the hiss diss was about Drake. I gotta make a mental note of that because I would love to review Hiss at some point. I should probably do that. I'm acting like anybody has control of that besides me. I could do it literally an hour from now if I wanted to. Oh my gosh, I almost skipped this. Kendrick Lamar is on this list, and that's so weird. What did Kendrick even do to Drake? Huh? Sorry. I could... What? I'm pretty sure this is the last thing I heard Kendrick say about Drake.
Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar.
That sounds incredibly complimentary to me. I see no issue with that whatsoever. Pharrell, Playboi Carti, and Pusha T found their way on here. Okay, the Pusha T one, okay, that one makes a lot of sense. Now, all Rihanna did was break up with Drake, reject him. Like, since when does breaking up with somebody make them your op? Like, it's crazy. Rick Ross is fair. He and Drake are actually actively beefing. In fact, Rick Ross had hands put on him, if I remember right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure some of Drake's goon squad put hands on Rick Ross, allegedly, reportedly, in my opinion. So has been said. But I feel like that diss is pretty slept on. We'll definitely have to talk about that at some point. Champagne Moments is on the list. I'm going to skip some of these because I don't recognize the names, but having beef with the NBA when they damn near let you be an assistant coach on the court with the Raptors is kind of crazy. The beef with the NFL makes plenty of sense because your arch nemesis will be dancing on you during the Super Bowl. That's fair. Tommy the Clown, that tracks. Whitney Alford being on here is insane. That woman has done nothing to you. And she shouldn't be in your top 50 just because she sleeps with a guy that hates you. Like come on, dude. Replace her with me. I deserve it. Now, Tyler, the Creator, is probably on here because of this one line, to be real.
I hit Drizzy and told him I had a milli for him.
I hit Drizzy and told him I had a milli for him? Bro, that's hilarious. And it's funny because I was on Reddit when I was looking into this line, and there's a lot of people being like, oh, he had Drake come out for a show. He's probably just talking about the money that he offered Drake. Bro, come on. You got DJ Drama in the background yelling, oh, shit. You think that Tyler isn't like smart enough to know what he's doing with that line? Come on, bro. The last people I want to talk about on here, we got a couple more YouTubers, and that's where I feel like I'm being left out a little bit. We got the Company Man. Now, I respect that, but... it almost feels like he's too respectful to even be on here. Shout out the Company Man. I've been tapping into a lot more of his content lately. I just watched this really, really funny interview with him and this dude named Jason Martin, and they were talking about Drake suing. That's where I got this from.
I'm gonna sue.
But I didn't even know that the Company Man had done that type of damage to Drake to where his fans are like, put him on the list. Put him on the list. And Sean C, shout out to Sean C too. You know what? He's been putting work in. He's definitely earned his spot. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and yap about this really quick. Yeah, the BET Awards, the Grammys are on here. The Alchemist, the producer, like bro is beefing with people that are just creating the background tracks for this. Wait, where's Mustard? Mustard! There's no Mustard on here? That's crazy. Maybe he's on here, but like the list that I'm looking at, 50 Cent's Hey, I might be covering it. He's got to have Mustard on there. But yeah, this thing is so funny to me because a lot of people in Drake's defense are being like, no, just one of his fans made it. As if that even really makes it any better. But also DJ Academics, like we talked about, tweeted in November, he's like, Drake has made a list of all the people that switched up on him. And I just think that's so lame. Sorry, that's so petty. It's just such a terrible use of your time. Like, bro, just spend time with your child. You have millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, dude. Just get away from it all. People are going to yap about you. I'm going to keep yapping up about you. I'm trying to make the list next year, okay? But I just wanted to talk about this really quick because a lot of other people were talking about it, and it's just really funny, in my opinion, that something like this even exists. It's not even just the fact that it exists, but if you even have this many perceived ops, I think it's fair to say that you're doing something wrong. Way back when I was still standing hard for Drake, I tried to make the argument that he has so many people going at him because they're envious, because they want to knock the king off or whatever. But it's like Kendrick is at the top of his game, Bruno Mars is at the top of his game, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, like they're at the top of their game. You don't see a bunch of different artists and producers and institutions going to try and take them down. It's usually just like other weird Stan Army things or whatever. But like those are just fans. But the fact that you have this much like even perceived beef, the fact that Drake has a list, he has to keep a, I don't need to physically write down the list of people that I have problems with because it's such a short list. So I really feel like this says a lot about Drake and his character, but let me know what you think. Obviously, I didn't go through the whole list, so let me know who surprised you the most from this list. Is there anybody on this list that you would love to hear me talk more about? But yeah, love you, mean it. Thanks for tapping in. Enjoy the outro.
Mean like Ruben it on a bad day. I be going hard, never halfway. Lately feeling bad, man, but I can't be staying down. I'm the one who's slaying sound. No time to be playing around. I'm not one to play a clown. Play the hero, save a town. Only live twice, how you do that? Gotta wear like two caps. Come home, they like, who that? It's that dude who do raps. But this ain't no Taco Bell. Kiro, some respect now. You know how I get down. Bust down on my wrist now. Oh, wow, he a liar. One day I'll get flyer. Situation dire. Sometimes think I'm drowning. I like to go higher. First need to be higher. Check my skills and accolades. Don't you think I deserve pay? I've been going super sane. All I'm missing yellow hair. Idolized Breezy as a child, then I growed up. Still waiting to glow up, but at least I show up. Make a buck by showing off. Haters, man, I blow them off. Shrug my shoulders, moving boulders. Mentally like Mewtwo. They like, who knew he'd be cutting up like 2-year-olds. And time out when you tell them that it's time not to just chill out and just lie down. But they stressing you while blessing you, cause children are a gift. But I can wait for that, can't pay for that. I'm taking one day at a time. Perfect the craft and keep it tight. Cannot waste a second if you wanna be the best. And I'll be snapping like Cortez or something, going Kanye West or something. Reputation to protect. If you look at that as crazy, then I'm going for your neck. I'm a lion on the prowl. I be fibbing and a threat. My bro saying they forget, and they're just reminding me. You better keep an eye on me. I swear y'all so behind on me. 2046 flow. You know how this shit go. Waiting on the